For more on the international deaf community, I spoke earlier to Jeffrey Palmer. He's an educational researcher and sign language scholar, and to Na Zhuo, a recent graduate of Gallaudet University, a Washington-based private university for the deaf. Through a translator, I asked her about her experience coming to the country.
So I arrived at Gallaudet University and to America in 2013. And of course, when I had gotten here, I didn't know American Sign Language. And it was a frustrating process because I didn't know how to communicate with Americans and those who used American Sign Language. I, in fact, had a difficult time even getting to campus from the airport. I had to spend the night at the airport, in fact. But in the morning, I was able to get to campus. But I took a program called is a program for new signers at Gallaudet's campus, and they taught me American Sign Language. It was a 5-week program to prepare me for classes, and from there I was able to immerse myself with students on campus and picked up the language even more.
Was it frustrating?
Well, I was quite motivated when I got here. So within a month, I would say that I learned quite a bit of American Sign Language. Yes, it was frustrating, but I do enjoy a challenge. So I continued.
And Jeffrey, talk to me about that. You know, I guess most people, you know, who don't know much about sign language thinks it's just universal. Obviously, there are big differences. How tough is it? And what are the similarities and differences?
Yes, that's a great question. So a lot of us do assume that sign language is universal, but it arises just like any language. So if deaf people are together in a community, they will start communicating, and it might be gesture at first, but eventually it'll become a language after generation and generation. So all sign languages are different. Chinese Sign Language is vastly different than American Sign Language. And ironically, English Sign Language that they use in England is different than American Sign Language, even though we both speak English.
Wow, that's just, no one would think that way. Let me get back to you in your situation. What are some of the lessons you would pass on to any young people in China who are watching this, who might think about going to an American university or a university in the UK? As Jeffrey points out, you've got issues with both.
So my advice to those students who would like to come to Gallaudet University or to come to America would be to socialize first with the people, because it helps you with the language. You should also make new friends, you know, socialize with your classmates and your teachers, and that's going to be the best for you in developing your language skill. As I had mentioned before, I had done it in 1 month, and they can too. So I think the key is to be motivated.
Talk to us about education in China versus the United States or any other Western country. What do we see in terms of differences?
Well, all over the world we face the same challenge with deaf education. The deaf population is a low incidence population, so sometimes individuals can be really isolated. And so in places like China and the United States, we like to get these young people together in a school for the deaf, and put them all in one place so they have peers that are like each other, and use sign language to educate them.